Boom, boom, kaboom. Welcome. It's Noof Nukem back in the room. Yeah, I wasn't gone very long, was I? I didn't leave you any time to miss me, that's for sure. Um, yeah, so I'm just doing an impromptu podcast. I'm not going to be on here very long. Obviously, this isn't the traditional Gaming After Dark that you come to know and love. But don't worry, Gaming After Dark is going to be back next week in the same time slot. So be ready for that. So I got Mag and Titan Drago. They're looking forward to getting right back in the saddle. I was expecting to be gone away a little bit longer. Of course, a lot of people asked questions, and I had some great feedback. Some people sent me some fantastic messages, just telling me to get my head straight, get in the right frame of mind, come back stronger, better, all that good stuff. So, JD, what is happening, man? Thanks for being here. Greatly appreciate it. 5 people in the house already, like I said, for this impromptu little podcast kind of shindig. So I just wanted to just kind of give everybody an update on where I'm at, what's happening, and all that good stuff. And like I said, I won't take up too much of anybody's time. Appreciate you being here. So it's just one of those things in life sometimes where you feel you need to take a step back and just kind of reevaluate things. I honestly thought this was going to be a process that took me perhaps a couple of months, but you know what? Honestly, it was really hard. It was really hard, even just making that decision and stepping back. Social media just kind of reminded me as well that as toxic as shit gets, and as much as sometimes you despise it and you really want to take a step back, you also realize that, while it's good for yourself, at the same time, you also appreciate the support. You appreciate the support and everything that you get from the community and the people that love you and the people that support your channel. So I felt like, after weighing things out, I was really giving up on a lot of people here. Pong Soul, how are you? Draven Arrow, what's happening? So that's kind of the way I felt. You see these people in the social media and people commenting and people replying and stuff, and yeah, like I said, it just kind of made me realize that this is a big part of my life now. Like it or not, it's something I got into years ago. I guess it's probably 2014, if I'm correct. Perhaps it was even 2013, 2013, 2014. I can't remember the exact date. Like I said, um, I can tell you the exact podcast I was on. For any of you guys in the chat, I mean, some of you guys don't know me, probably haven't been following my channel that long or haven't been subscribed all that long. If you have any questions, like personal questions, like, how did I get my name, or when did I start doing this, or what was my first podcast, or anything like that, this is a great time to do it. This is just an impromptu pod. I might touch a little bit on some of the topics that have been floating around over the last couple of days, that sort of stuff. And like I said, this is a great time to drop any type of questions that you like. This isn't the traditional Gaming After Dark. Titan's not here. Mag is not here. Those guys already made plans. They weren't expecting that this podcast would be back this week. We're coming back regular time next week, so don't worry about that. So, like I said, if you got something, yeah, I appreciate that, Tool Man, and welcome. Nothing's happened. Like, there was no. I think part of it, and it might have been, and I don't know if I had mentioned this on a previous podcast, but a good friend of mine passed away like about 2 weeks ago. He was actually my former boss, but he was a really good friend, not just my boss. And he passed away suddenly due to a heart attack. He was in his early 60s, but he was kind of like my friend. He was a mentor. He was a bit like a father figure to me in a sense, and it hit me really hard. I struggled with it for days. I tried to put a lot of things behind me, but you know how that goes. Sometimes it just weighs heavy on your mind, and it's sometimes when you lose people around you and things are going on in your life. Gaming sometimes is it's not that big of a priority. You know what I mean? But at the same time, then you also take a step back from gaming and realize how important it is. That gaming often brings us together. Gaming is what gets a lot of us through tough times. Gaming is how we bond, how we communicate. And, of course, with COVID, everything is tougher. Everything's been amplified. I mean, how many of you guys in the chat right now, like, just can't, wait to actually have regular human interaction again, like to go out without masks on, to be able to go out and hug somebody, for example, any of that sort of stuff. I think we all long for that. And thanks, Tool Man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. Um, so like I said, I just wanted to pop back on and basically let everybody know that things are okay. And and I talked to my wife as well, and she was a little bit shocked. She was kind of shocked that I said, "Yeah, I'm planning to take some time off. It could be a couple of months. I don't know." Honestly, I was thinking it probably would be a couple of months. Like I'd come back probably like middle of the spring, early summer, come back and all that good stuff. Thanks, Punk. So greatly appreciate that. And you're absolutely right, Tool Man. Gaming is therapy, brother. It gets me through a lot, and it has for a long time. Gaming's that release. Gaming's the one place, like I said, where you can be a race car driver or a sports star, or you can be an action hero or a superhero. You can be a lot of different things. Rick Payne, what's going on, man? Um, like that's the thing with gaming. It transports us to so many worlds, and unlike a movie where you sit back in a passive environment and just kind of suck it in, gaming puts you in the middle. Gaming puts you there. It makes you feel like you're part of something. Like it really engrosses you into those worlds. I think that's why I love games like sometimes like the Grand Theft Auto series and stuff like that because it's the attention to detail that they put in those games that really sucks you in. It's appreciate that, Andy Cologne. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. Like it's been a rough year and period, you know what I mean? But some good things have happened recently as well. Axel, what's happening, man? Yeah, I know this was a total um this has been a total surprise tonight. I just wanted to come on, kind of update you guys because I know everybody was really disappointed to hear that. I was putting Gaming After Dark down for a little while, and most of us had no idea how long that could be. Obviously, not very long at all. We'll be back next week. Don't worry. We're still trying to decide whether we want to move from Tuesday nights to Friday nights. I did a poll. I don't know if you guys voted on that poll. But we did drop one, and it was about 60% for moving it to Friday and 40% keeping it where it is on Tuesday. So that's a great chance. Now that there's 14 of you amazing people in here watching, let me know. Does Friday night an hour earlier work better for you guys, or do you prefer it to be in Tuesday? Because I really want to hear it from you guys, the guys who make this podcast what it is. So let me know. So give me a 1 in the chat if you'd like Gaming After Dark to stay at Tuesdays, or give me a 2 in the chat if you prefer it to move to Friday. Hey, we got Regulator. He's here. Regulator 951 dropping $1.99 in the super chat. Be safe and hope everything is all well moved. Yes, my friend, it's much better than I kind of thought it was. I was just kind of in a bit of a funk, I guess you could say. Dirt Griggity in the house. What's happening, Dirt? He drops $5. No, yeah, baby. So Andy wants it to stay on Tuesdays. Regulator likes Friday. Sparhawk likes Friday. J Slayer J says Tuesday. Hypo Noise says Tuesday. Axel's going for Tuesday. Damn, guys, making it difficult now. Pong's got his show on Friday, so 1 for him. I don't think it's really a problem for us either way. I just think it was overall, it was probably a little more convenient for some of the people on the East Coast. And I know Mag struggles a little bit, with the show just because it's so late and all that stuff. But Draven Arrow gives a 1, but love Tuesdays at work. I appreciate the support, Tool Man. That's a big reason. You guys are part of the reason I'm back early because I missed you guys. I really did. A lot of shows Monday and Tuesday, Friday would be awesome. Says Killer Scorpion. How are you? Thanks for being here. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's a tough call. You guys are making this difficult for me. It's not unanimous. That's what I said to Titan and Mag too. 60-40 vote. Yes, 60 in favor of Friday nights, but 60-40 is like I said to Mag and Titan. I said I was hoping more like an 80 because that would have been very definitive, like pretty clear cut and dry. I mean, 60-40 is still a pretty good percentage, but like, do you take a risk and move the Friday nights and perhaps lose a lot of the people that's helped you build it on Tuesdays? Or, you know what I mean? T Rock 40, what is up, brother? How are you tonight? Glad you could be here. Yeah. So, like I said, guys, all is well. Like I said, went through a little bit of funk. It's obviously passed. And again, I credit a lot of you guys with the reason I'm back early. Spider-Man, or I know, man, it was just a total surprise. I just kind of wanted to shock people a little bit. Really didn't plan on doing this. But yeah, you guys are the reason I'm back because the kind messages I got in my inbox, people saying, all that good stuff, and how much you're going to miss gaming after dark and different things. And I didn't really want to let any of you guys down, man. You're fantastic. So here we are. We're coming back. We'll be back next week. Like I said, that will be the 2nd of March. So we kind of kick off the March month, head into the spring. Hopefully there's some juicy news to jump into. A couple of tidbits today and over the last couple of days. One of those things I've been kind of dying to chat about was the Nintendo Direct that just came out. While sort of impressive in a way, it was very disappointing at the same time. Yo, Eternal should die. How are you, brother? How you doing, man? Glad you could be here. So let's just start with Nintendo. I don't think there's probably hardly anybody. Clement Obert, what's going on, man? Or is you called the Clement Obert, right? I think that's it. Clement Obert. Iron Bear 32. How are you? Thanks. Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't ill. It wasn't a health issue. I think it was just some a mental frame of mind I was kind of in, and I just felt that maybe I needed to take a break. Actually, if anything, I need to do it more. Perhaps not take a break at all. I'm doing good. So there you go. I think we got to figure it out. Anyway, we'll come back on Tuesdays and we'll figure it out from there. We'll move it along shortly. So just getting back to the whole Nintendo thing. How did you like the latest Nintendo Direct? Did anybody pay attention to it? I know a lot of us guys now don't really pay a big deal about Nintendo. They're almost par for the territory. Time to buy my 7th Switch. I'm not up to 7 yet, man. I think if I do get another Switch, if I'm correct, it'll be the 4th. I'm pretty sure it would be the 4th. I'm trying my best to hold on to shit, man. So right now, if you guys are wondering what I'm rocking in my house, here's the consoles I do have. Let's start with the Xbox. I've got the Xbox One X, the Gears 5 edition. I love that thing. What a beauty of a system. Best custom console I've ever had the honor of owning. It looks amazing. The sound effects, the whole works. Obviously, I've got the Xbox Series X. Yes, I realize I'm fortunate and very lucky to have one of those, even though I basically haven't touched it at all, which is crazy. And I have the PlayStation 4, which is up in the bedroom, fiddling around with games up there on that. And I have, if you guys didn't know or didn't see it recently, I managed to get a PlayStation 5. And I scored a bit of a deal on it. I'll tell you how. I happened to be at my local EB Games store. I was just going in to kind of buy something random. The guy asked me if there was anything I wanted. I said, well, if you could help me get a PlayStation 5, that'd be really cool. And well, in Canada, our second language is French, so so I try to get some of the French pronunciation right, all that good stuff. But yeah, so yeah, managed to score a PS5. Now the PS5 is a refurb. But the good news is I got it for a really good price, or at least I think it's a good price considering, a refurb right now means it's only a couple months old. I did buy an extra warranty for it, so hopefully nothing shits the bed. But hey, I'm pretty happy to have them with them being in such a high demand still. Largely thanks in part to those scalpers who are just snapping them up like crazy. And of course, production being a little bit slower. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Rocking 4 consoles right now, and loving it. So they're really loving the PS5. My impressions of it are fantastic. The controller is definitely PlayStation's best controller that I've ever held in my hand. It's comfortable. It's weighty. It's got a nice feel to it. Definitely like that. Yeah, no, Paul Grant, thanks for being here. As I tried to explain a few times already, this is a bit of a surprise. I needed to take a step back. I thought I would be gone for quite a while. But here I am, man. And like I said, largely thanks to you guys in the chat. It's why I'm back. It's why I'm back, because you guys made me miss it. And I told my wife, she was kind of shocked too. She's like, why are you taking a break? And it's like, well, I kind of need to step back and kind of reevaluate a few things. And I think if I just juggle my life accordingly, it should be fine. I realize there's people out there doing far more content than me, and they're working regular jobs. So I got no excuses. One of these days, hopefully I will be able to get all of the all of the recording software and different things that people are using, so I can start really putting some work into my videos, that sort of stuff, or actually making videos. I just come to find out, and I don't know when this happened. I must have been sleeping on this one, but I didn't realize Xbox stopped support for Upload Studio. Did you guys know that? Because I did not. I was going to make some content with Upload Studio and found out they don't support it anymore, which is really sad. It was a great little program. It was a great little program that they pretty much stopped supporting, probably a year, 2 years into the Xbox One lifespan. Yeah, so really sucks. Spider-Man, yeah, man, I'm glad you got your Series X, bro. You deserve it. I hope you're really liking it, man. All that stuff. So wow, 2 years ago. Damn, I must have totally forgotten. It's probably been that long, I guess, since I produced anything on it, obviously. So yeah. Uh you're playing PS4 games on it. Yeah, see, that was the thing, right? Like, I've got my Series X, and honestly, I've got 2 games installed on my Series X right now. And that's Gears 5, of course, the Hivebusters DLC, which looks absolutely incredible, and Immortals Phoenix Rising. I didn't put anything else on it because I just don't want to be eating up hard drive space for games that really aren't built for the console, if that makes any sense. Sure, I know a lot of the games now they have the Series X, updates and patches, so they run and look a little bit better if you're playing them on that console. But at the end of the day, an old game is an old game, right? What are you saying, Infinite? So yeah, so I'm gonna have to go check out a few more. I know I installed God of War on the PS5, and holy mackerel, does that game ever pop now? Holy man. I played on the PS4 Pro and it looked better, but on the PS5 it really shines. The graphics are just so bright and crisp, and it looks really, really cool, man. I'm still playing Control. I went back and I beat that boss. I think you were watching me that night. One of the last times I played it there, T-Rock. So I went back and beat that boss after, and realized that the reason I was dying so much because I was running around too much instead of taking cover, all that kind of crap. So, but anyway, just getting back to Nintendo. The Nintendo Direct, to me, was impressive and disappointing at the same time. Middle-aged game guy, what is going on right now? I'm doing an impromptu, brother. Man, the door is always open if you want to jump in. This isn't our typical gaming after dark. It's just me trying to update the community on what's going on, and the fact that we're coming back. Yeah, I got everybody on a fucking string right now. What the fuck is going on, man? Yeah, man. So if you wanna jump in, man, just give me a thumbs up here in the chat. I'll send you the link. But you don't have to. Like I said, hopefully not gonna be here long. But then again, mind you, the last time I think I said that, we jumped into an impromptu. We were here a couple of hours and then came back for a couple hours more. So, and Nintendo, I don't know, man. I'm gonna send them the link regardless. So let me give Mag the link here. I think Titan probably got some shit going on, so I'm just gonna fire him off one here if he wants to jump in. All right, I just put it in the message with you and Titan, man. If you want to jump in, that'd be funny if Titan jumps in here too. Mag, get some support going on here. Yeah. So, like, with Nintendo, where was I? Like, what did they announce? I mean, obviously they got some more DLC characters for Smash Bros. Meh. You know what I mean? Yeah, the invite is in that message to you and Titan, man. If you jump in, great. If you don't, I'll understand. Like I said, this is we're playing with your emotions tonight, Infinite. At least we're not playing with anything else. Uh, Cliffy B, it's awesome. I'm all over the place today. Cliffy B, he was talking about getting older because he just celebrated a birthday recently, and he's getting older, and he's talking, how his skills are diminishing. And I had a great quote for him, and he actually really liked it. He said that was an amazing quote. It was pretty funny. Cliffy said, "Here's what I said. If I can just find it here." Scrolling on my Twitter feeds. Yeah, he's talking about the skills diminishing, right? And Mega Bad Seed is talking about his skills diminishing. My skills might wand a little. And then I replied, I said, dude, my skills have diminished so much, even masturbation requires a checkpoint. Oh, he liked that one. I thought that was funny. I did, man. The link is in the DM, dude. Just go to the DM, the one with you and Titan Drago. The one where you said, fuck, I just saw this at 8:35. Oh, man. So, yeah, no doubt, man. I would take you up by that offer, Hypo Noise. So, yeah, the Pokemon Snap. But I know it was just more of the same shit to me. Like, it just disappoints me because Nintendo could do so much. They've obviously got a massive. They're selling so well right now. The rumors continue to go around about a Switch Pro, which there's another rumor circulating that apparently they think the name is going to be Super Nintendo Switch, and it'll have the capability of doing 4K at some capacity, I suppose, and have better processors and a better screen, all that stuff. Hopefully, they fix the stick drift on the controllers, that sort of shit. But like, I was pretty disappointed. Like I said, it's just, uh, they just don't push the envelope. You know what I mean? What was the big announcement? Oh, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. I don't know. That was the one Zelda I completely missed. I think I had basically gotten rid of my Nintendo Wii by the time that game come out. I did have Twilight Princess. Hey, Iceman, what's going on, brother? How you doing? I did have Twilight Princess and thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I have to be honest, it'd be a fraud that I never finished that one, but it was pretty good. And Miss Skyward Sword. So they're bringing out Skyward Sword again. And that's the thing. They're going to charge you full price for one game. Now, it would have been really cool, as someone suggested, if it was Legend of Zelda 35th Anniversary Edition and it came with, say, Ocarina of Time. And it came with Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword or something like that. Gone mad. What is up, people? Yeah, people. That sort of thing. But like, they're the only company that just constantly gets away with the same old shenanigans, and it's like they don't care. I don't know if people are calling them out on it. The Mario Golf game looks interesting and definitely fun. That might have been one of the highlights of the whole show, but you know, outside of that, it's like, it'd be nice to see Nintendo, like, buy Nintendo and it's this game with mature graphics and a mature theme and just kind of blow people away. Something that we don't expect. You know what I mean? Like, that would be really cool. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. What was else? Apex Legends. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Apex Legends. I'm sure it's going to be successful on the Switch, but my God, it did not look very good. It looked like a very, very watered down version of that game. And we know Apex Legends needs to run and play very smoothly to be effective because it's that kind of gameplay and fast, So, yeah, I totally gone mad. Exactly. How many times are they going to sell you the same product over and over and over again? No new updates about Nintendo Online, about, improving that service or adding more value to it. No, it's just, you're paying $20 to play Mario Kart on it, essentially. Just frustrating, man. But like I said, they're not the be all end all. I got too much better consoles in my household, called the Xbox and the PlayStation. So, yeah, they're the old man who gets a pass because they're old. I know where Mag is. I sent him the link. Let's see. Did he didn't jump in yet. So I did send him the link. If he wants to jump in, he's welcome. It's there in the thing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. I see Xbox Live Games of Gold. This is the one that always gets up Titan Drago's arse and makes him all squirrely. He doesn't like talking about the games at Gold. But I don't know if you guys saw them. We had a pretty decent month, I got to say, for the month of February. But boy, March looks pretty. So here's what we got for the month of March, guys. Brace yourselves. March 1st to the 31st, you're going to get Warface Breakout Cold Sun. Isn't that like a free to play game, or is that, what the fuck is that shit? Like, obviously an expansion for a free to play game. I don't know. Then you're getting Vala on March 16th to April 15th. It is Vicious Attacked Llama Apocalypse. What in God's name is that? Llamas against mechs or something. Okay, this is the weirdest crap I've seen since Goat Simulator. March 1st to the 15th, you got a classic in Metal Slug 3. That one's decent. If you never played the Metal Slug franchise, I highly recommend that. It's a great throwback to the old school arcade shooters, of course, SNK Neo Geo style. Fantastic little game. And then there's Port Royale 3. Never played it. Obviously, a pirate game long before the days of Sea of Thieves. So March 16th to March 31st. So overall, you got a couple of $20 valued games, one at $15 and one at $9.99, with 64, 96 in value and 3,200 in gamer score. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm not here to just keep poking the fire or poking the bear. That shit. Yeah, Metal Slug is good. Plus, it's co-op, man. So if you ever want to play it, I have it. I had that game for a long time. Would love to find someone that I could do co-op with, because that game is tough, man. You need to have some people for that. Joe the Gamer, what is going on? Yeah, cool. Glad he'll that Mag can come here and join us here shortly. Crispy Ramble, what's up? Yeah, so there you go, man. But not to toot my own horn for the 1 millionth time, but I said it way back in the day. And that was the thing. I called it as soon as Game Pass dropped. I bet you the moment Game Pass dropped, I said, you watch, the quality of the games of gold are going to drop exponentially now that the service is out. And sure enough, months later, it was a trend where you could see the type of games and quality of those games. But at the end of the day, look, we've always paid for Xbox Live. These things are a bonus. One man's trash is another man's treasure, just because I don't like them or I've had them and played that. I think that's the part that a lot of us forget, is because a lot of us buy the games that we want the moment they sort of come out. So by the time they end up in gold, you're kind of like, well, it's old news to me. I played it, I bought it. Like Metal Slug, for example. I bought that game I don't know, probably months after that game came out. So I've had it for a couple of years, right? And Tech versus Llama sounds like good. Well, you never know. Like I said, Goat Simulator turned out to be quite popular. Then you got that fucking Untitled Goose Game, which is really popular. That looks weird as shit, but yeah. So there you go. Man, good stuff. But it is what it is. Like I said, for somebody out there who's on a limited budget, who perhaps doesn't have Game Pass, doesn't have the means to buy a lot of games, or doesn't have the access to get to, say, a physical retail store or things like that, these are always a bonus, right? That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's a bonus. I guess what really makes Games of Gold sting more than anything is the fact that a lot of the times now we get good stuff with Sony. So why is it Sony is able to give us much better games with PlayStation Plus than Xbox does with Games of Gold? And it's, the writing is on the wall. It's called Game Pass. That's why we don't, because they ain't going to give people anything great when they want to keep those great games for Game Pass and entice you to spend the money to get them, right? So Dirt 5, Game Pass tomorrow. Look at that. Brand new game already in Game Pass. That is insane, right? So there you go. Yeah, I like to own my games too, man. It's a weird thing, I know. It's not a popular choice this day and age. And the only thing that irritates me sometimes is the fact that when we go to switch games, like on a community game night, then I got to get up, I got to search for all my games, and they're always in the cupboards, or they're always in the cases, and they're always put away neatly. But that means I got to get up from my couch, got to go over, find the game, got to take it out, pop it in the system. God, I hope that it's updated. That sort of shit. Doctor, what's up, Doctor? Jesus, 34 people watched it on an impromptu podcast. That is freaking impressive. You guys are amazing, man. Have I told you that already? So thanks for being here. Like I said, I am fine. I am doing well. You guys made me miss you big time. I probably missed you more than you missed me, I would say. And that is kind of why I am here, just jumping in, shooting the shit. Hoping to keep it quick, all that good stuff. But let's move on to some other things. I know this one's really stirred the pot and has, it has some Xbox guys on social media sort of jumping with glee. It has some PlayStation guys thoroughly upset. I don't really give a fuck about it. More PlayStation games, according to Jim Ryan, are coming to PC. I think one of the next one is Days Gone. We suspect there will be more after. I mean, obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn went to PC a while back. Holy shit. Look who just entered the room. Is
Well, fuckity well. Look who it is.
Lonely. What the fuck?
Let me tell you something. First of all, it's the Noof, I need time off, Nukem. And all of a sudden, on a Tuesday night, he fucking shows up. I'm in the hot tub with 3 fat chicks. And let me tell you something. I know what it's like to be a trader at Marineland now. So anyways, wouldn't it be my surprise if I just walk in here and all of a sudden I see Noof Nukem on the air? Ridiculous. Where's Titan Drago?
I don't know, man. Titan's probably well, no. You know what? You know what? Middle age, Mag, Tony Baloney. We know where Titan Drago is. He's probably got his dick deep in Smite right now.
Of course he does. He has like 3,756 hours just this year alone. It's utterly ridiculous. I don't know any human being who even has that much time. I don't even think I've lived that long.
I was glad to see you, man. Just catching you up to speed like I was catching these guys up. We got Joe Dunmore is here, one of your favorites.
Joe Dunmore?
Joe Dunmore is here, yeah. Oh, man. But anyway, you know, we spoke in private. This was an impromptu thing. I just wanted to come on kind of a State of the Union, just to let people know that I'm fine. Just kind of went through a weird little spell, especially after the death of my friend. And I just felt like maybe, you know, between all of the bullshit and the stuff that you see online, that maybe I just need to take a little bit of time off. And you know what? Just reading through some of the posts, my DMs, stuff on Twitter, I realized how much I miss this community. And while I was thinking taking time off in a sense would be therapy, I realized this is my therapy. This is something I need in my life, doing podcasts and gaming and being a part of Gaming After Dark with you fabulous fuckers. So that's kind of my realization. And when I told my wife to, I was stepping back, she's like, why? Like, you know, you kind of love doing it and she expects that. And I realized, you know what? I have her full support and it's good to go. So here we are, man. And like I said, Gaming After Dark officially back next week.
Outstanding. And I will drop the Tony Baloney for just a minute, but I got to tell you, you know, Anoof, you needed this. This is what it is. But you know what? You needed to realize it yourself that this is what you needed. This is your therapy, just like you said. This is what carries you forward. This is what, it's just like, you know, when they say that something tragic happens to you, that you have to keep doing your same routine, move forward. You know what I mean? And you keep doing that thing, and all of a sudden you find that that's actually what helps you in the long run.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. Totally. Regulator in the chat. Regulator 951 dropping another $1.99. And then there were 2. Tuesday nights are back. Yes, they are. It wasn't the same with Gaming After Dark. Like I said, we'll be back officially next week. Now, interesting enough, Mag, Tony Baloney.
Yes.
I was talking to the chat earlier before you jumped in here, and it seems like we still have a lot of these people, at least the ones who are in our chat tonight, voting for the Tuesday nights. So, you know, while the online poll definitely gave me an indication that Fridays were preferred, the people in this chat lead me to believe otherwise. The majorities were giving me 1s, which means stay on Tuesday. A lot less were 2s. Some really didn't care, but I think so far, and like I said, that's the thing I'm juggling with. Do we take a chance on moving to Friday night, finding a better time slot that's more convenient, and losing the amazing people that we have to gain new people? Or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be a trade-off where we gain 10 and we lose 10.
Yeah, that's a thing. By the way, I'm dropping the Tony Baloney right now. I'm going to be Mag all of a sudden. There it is. Mag's back. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, welcome to Gaming After Dark.
So, Mag, what have you been up to, man? Obviously, you heard that I got a PS5 now, so I'm in the PS5 club. Good shit.
Yeah, I am super happy about that. And you know what? Honestly, man, I know there's, like, you know, a lot of controversy around the controller and all that kind of stuff. I try to stay away from all that stuff. I mean, it's not worth it at the end of the day to get involved in all that nonsense. Twitter's on fire with all this bullshit with, you know, the PS5 games coming to the PC and blah, 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 blah. And you know what, though? Just enjoy your PS5 for what it is, brother. That's, at the end of the day, that's all it is. So enjoy it. And I'll tell you, I fucking love that goddamn console. I love turning it on. I even love the startup screen. I love the UI is really, really smooth and quick. But you know what, though? I will say this. The Xbox UI is still faster. And I'm finding that the loading speeds on the Xbox, I don't give a shit if anybody finds it controversial or not. I think that the Xbox is still faster than the PS5, even though they were touting that SSD, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, But anyway, back to the PS5. The PS5 is a fucking incredible system. I've already got 4 platinums on it since I got it in November. So I adore it. And like I said, I jump back and forth, man. Like it's just I go from one to the other. But actually, funny, I'm just wrapping up Cold War on the Xbox, and I still have Assassin's Creed Valhalla and I have Immortals Phoenix Rising on the Xbox, but I'm going to hold off on those. And I'm going back to the PS5 to play Days Gone because I haven't played that yet. And I heard it was amazing. And I got it for like $19.99 or something on a summer deal on the PS4. So now I'm going to play it on the PS5. I don't know if they've done any enhancements yet, but here's the thing. Seeing that it's going to PC, I would imagine that enhancements should be coming in the next like couple of weeks or so. I would imagine. You know what I mean? Just like they did. I just overheard you talking about God of War. And God of War, I got the platinum of God of War on the PS5. And fuck, is it ever incredible on that system, man.
Amazing, isn't it? It is so smooth and sharp, and it just runs like butter now.
Oh, it was
good on the PS4, but fuck, when you watch it on this, it's like, especially like I said, you got a decent television, you can definitely see the difference.
Oh, yeah. Yo, you can see the difference, man. And the next one is Days Gone. And then I was actually even contemplating, and I just might do it. I might dive back in, maybe in the spring or so, maybe after Resident Evil 8. I might dive back into Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might. I'm not saying that's for sure, but it's, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, I never got the platinum on that. I basically just beat the story and just, kind of went about my way. And then I got right into Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm thinking about going back there and getting the platinum on Last of Us 2 because I hearing that it's actually not that difficult, and I would imagine it's probably going to look fucking spectacular on the PS5, right? Yeah. So, and I'm glad you got it. So, what did you end up getting? Obviously, I would imagine you obviously got the disc version, right?
Yes. Yeah, so I'll update you on that in just a second. But Iceman LMH in the chat, my good buddy Ice dropping $4.99. No, you are back tonight. No. I don't know. He says, no, you're back tonight. Let's go, guys. Maybe he means I didn't know you're back tonight. But anyway, let's go. Thanks, Iceman. Glad you could be here, man. Like I said, very impromptu. I was just going to do a State of the Union address kind of deal. Not planning to be here like overly long tonight. But yeah, I see Titan is in the chat. He knows he's welcome to jump in. I don't expect him to, but he is in the chat. You were supposed to be playing Halo right now. He says, you mugs.
I'm not even kidding though. I mean, I know the Tony Baloney bullshit, but I was actually in my hot tub and I was watching a fucking movie and I'm sitting back and kicking a beer and my phone goes off, right? And it's dark outside. So I just see the phone light up and I'm like, the fuck is this? So I lean over and it was a YouTube notification. It's like, boom, boom, kaboom. I'm like, boom, boom, fucking kaboom. What? Like, what's going on? So I clicked on it. And then I thought it was just like a little like what I thought it was like maybe like I've seen you do those before, like a little 2-3 minute video where you're just like, okay, we're coming back on March 2nd, this and that. And then I look down, I see a live chat. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's on the fucking air? And I'm like, oh, no. This ain't happening. I jumped out of there, dick swinging. I jumped right out of the fucking hot tub, got dressed. Right into Tony Baloney gear, and I'm like, no, I'm on the air. So
it's a good thing you didn't come on the air and forget where he was. He come in and it's just like, yeah. Tony showing his baloney at the same time.
No, not tonight.
Yeah, awesome chat, man. Like I said, I can't believe we're already like 40-something people watching. Jago Kukin's in the house. Good brother Jag is here. Mav, Fun Speculation.
Hey, I did a show with Fun Speculation last night, actually, on Primetime Gaming. Yeah, it was great.
I was going to say, he should change his name to Fun Speculum.
You know what? It's funny, actually. Last night, Boom kept saying Mav and Mag, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, kind of waiting for my turn, so to speak. And then he's like, I want to go to Mav. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready. And so I'm like, get on there. And I'm like, oh, fuck, not Mag, Mav. And he ddid it all fucking night. So I kept jumping, ready to get on the mic. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, he's got to change his name.
Yeah.
Because Fun Speculation is too long to say.
That's okay, Titan. Like I said, man, I didn't expect even Magby. I figured you guys would be like out doing whatever. I was like, cool. Ouch. I wasn't worried about the Halos. I was actually asleep. I fell asleep on the bed and then I woke up. I was like, fuck, I'll just jump on anyway, just get this shit over with and just let people know that, hey, we're coming back and blah, blah, blah. And, surprise people a little bit. Surprises are always nice, right? And of course, I'm surprised that, hey, we got fucking a lot of familiar faces in the chat as always, which is awesome. Like Spider-Man is here. So yeah.
The doctor showed up too.
So For me, my PS5 was a little bit of a lucky story. I managed to get one, not quite the way you think. I didn't go online, I didn't order it, anything like that. Basically, I was into my EB. As a matter of fact, I actually went in. I was looking for the new red Xbox controller, and they didn't have them. So as I'm getting ready to leave the store, the guy's like, "Well, is there anything else you want?" I said, "Well, unless you can kind of get me on a list for a PS5." I said, "I've been hunting one of those down for a while and can't seem to round one up." And he's like, he kind of leans over the counter. He's like, "Well, listen, I do have one in the back. It's actually it came in from corporate. It was a refurb." And I said, "Okay, I'm interested, but let me know, like, how much is this thing going to cost? You know, if it was like $50 in the difference, I'd be like, whatever." But yeah, he's like, "I got the disc version." He goes, and it's a disc version. Because he actually had a brand new one, the digital in the back. He said, "I got the digital brand new too." And I said, "Nah, that's okay, man. I want the disc version. If I'm going to get it, I ain't fucking getting digital." You know, you guys know me.
You know, that's funny. I was actually going to ask you. I'm like, what if he only had one and he only had the digital? Would you have jumped? Like, let's say there was no chance you could get the disc version. No chance whatsoever. And he's like, "All I got is this for all eternity." Would you have jumped?
Maybe. So the bottom line is, because I'm an Onyx member, I saved quite a bit of money. Like, I got it less than $500.
Oh, that's very nice.
Right? So that allowed me to obviously have enough money to go pick up a game. So I have Spider-Man, Miles Morales. So that was great. And, you know, I bring this machine home. There's not a scratch, nothing but a couple of flecks of dust on it. It runs like a charm. So I am totally pleased. I picked up an extended warranty just in case. You know, if you're going to spend $500 on something, what's a few extra bucks to make sure? And the cool thing is, if the console does shit the bed, I can just walk back in and get a brand new one as long as they're available. Hopefully by the time, and hopefully that's a big if that ever happens, and yeah, I can just walk in the store and get a new one. So that's cool, right? So there you go. So I'm pretty happy.
Can I just tell you something? When you play Miles Morales, go to the settings, please, and change it to performance mode with ray tracing. There's 3 different modes. You've got the 4K 30. You've got performance at 60 at, I don't know, I think it's 1080p or something like that. Okay. And then they've got the performance 60 with ray tracing. Put the that one on, the performance with ray tracing. It is fucking phenomenal. So I played the first half of the game at 4K 30 because I wanted to see it. You know what I mean? I wanted to see the visuals. I wanted to see whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I checked it out and I was like, all right, it's pretty good. And then I put it on that, and holy shit, the difference was fucking unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. Like swinging through, like, you know, through alleyways and buildings and this and that, and just doing all like the acrobatics, because the acrobatics are, you know, basically the same as like Spider-Man 2018, but they're just tweaked just a little bit better. And my God, at 60 though, holy shit, it's a whole new experience, man. And
I'll take your word for it. I have it on the default, which is the 4K with all the bells and whistles.
That's what I had. That's what I had it on. And then I just saw somebody online, just some random article. The guy's like, put it on performance 60 with ray tracing. Yeah. It'll look the same. Okay, they kind of upscale it like to almost 4K, whatever. But there's no way the naked eye could tell the difference. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't even give a shit about what Digital Foundry says. Your naked eye can't see it, okay? It still looks like 4K. It's shiny. It's glossy. Yeah. It's got the ray tracing and 60 frames per second. And my God, Spider-Man just needs that 60 frames per second. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, the performance is so much better that it's almost breathtaking. When you when you like release a web and you just kind of and you just like shoot through like 2 buildings, and he does like that torpedo move in between like a fire escape and then jumps off the side. You're just like, holy fuck, this is unbelievable. And I was finding myself, instead of fast traveling, once I turned it off to 60 FPS, instead of fast traveling, I would actually just go right across Manhattan. I didn't give a shit if it was 5,000 whatever meters away or whatever. I fucking swung through the whole city. Because it was that thrilling.
Yeah, and dude, the music's on point in that game too. It's so good. Like one of the first songs, you know, when the game kind of starts and it feels like a movie, and they put this fucking song on, and it's like, oh, I'm right into this shit.
Hey, man, and even this part, dude.
Yeah, and there's even a part where you're you go into the Christmas dinner with your mom and your friends, and
Yes.
you go into the box of old vinyls that your uncle had, and you
Yeah.
basically get to pick out what you're going to put on the record player. I thought that was a neat little touch.
Yeah, it's very nice. And you know what the thing is? Like, again, you got to tip the cap to Sony Production. I mean, they're a movie. I mean, well, they're not a movie company. They're a tech company. But I mean, a lot of their focus is on film.
Yeah,
And they put that production into their games. And you really feel like you're playing a movie. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just like, all right, I'm playing a game. Like, you actually feel like you're playing. And that's why I think a lot of people gravitate towards that Sony experience. I mean, I'm not talking shit about Xbox or Nintendo. I'm just saying a lot of people gravitate towards that Sony, those Sony big AAA games is because you feel like you're actually living an experience. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually like part of the experience. You're part of you feel like you're part of like a big budget film. Like when I'm playing Miles Morales or even the 2018 Spider-Man, whatever, I feel like I'm in the MCU. I feel like I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one swinging around doing all this. And like you said, like that Christmas dinner scene and all that, it adds like these personal touches to it that, a lot of games, I'm not saying all games, but I'm saying a lot of games don't have that kind of production, right? And man, that fucking game is awesome, man. I played it through twice, by the way. So, I mean, you have to get the platinum. So it was worth every fucking second. And the other cool thing is, by the way, on a technical note, you'll notice that the triggers in the back, when you're swinging, you actually feel the resistance as you're holding on to the web, right? Like when he fires the web to swing from building to building, whatever, you can actually feel the resistance in the trigger as if you're holding the web yourself, right? And you're almost struggling with it a little bit. I'm like, some people don't like that, especially maybe like a Call of Duty player. That's fine. But for this game, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
and the other thing is,
Astrobot used the controller really well.
Oh, man.
I like the one in Astrobot when you jump into the suit of the little spring dude.
Yeah.
And you feel it load up, and then you feel it kind of compress. And the harder you press, of course, the further you jump, and then you angle your controller. That was fucking pretty neat. What? The doctor, would you consider doing live video all the time? I love seeing the faces. Hey, I can jump on and show you my ugly fucking mug too, but you better brace yourself.
Mega Bad Seed's actually how old I am. I actually turned 46 last week. I hope that's not too fucking old. Mind you, I'm already like 7 drinks deep, so I look older as each drink I have. So, if you catch me early in the morning, I actually look quite nice. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, I've got my shitty camera going right now. I didn't hook up the other one. So, hey, at least I'm just saying hello. Got a new fucking haircut here right now, and I look like a fucking bukol, which is a coconut in the Philippines. But anyway, enough of that. I'm tired of my face already. There you go.
You know what's funny? Now I'm starting to think like I'm starting to think like a girl. I'm looking down and they're like, "How old are you, Mag?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, why do I look old?" Like, like that. Like girls like, "Do I look fat in this dress?"
Yeah, that's
no. What do you mean? Well, no.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the faces one night when I got my other camera hooked up. It's not that far away from me, but whatever. Yeah, Mega Bad Seed, I left you a DM there, bro. If you if you want to take it, it's up to you. But no pressure. It's up to you, man. What? But it works. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it's the Aaron Greenberg camera for you right there. Remember that? Remember that time he fucking did the camera and everybody was giving him shit? It's like Aaron Greenberg, Microsoft's using his old shitty ass camera.
Yeah, the $1 trillion company can't afford a fucking better camera. Meanwhile, Mag in his basement's got a fucking camera 10 times better than them. What the fuck is that all about? Like, they fucking own that tech. I couldn't understand that.
I think the next time he came on, he actually made fun of it, and he actually had a good camera. The next time he was saw on camera. That was kind of funny. So
my wife Chef Trouble just came online. She just got home from work and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
So you're in a suit. You ready for a date, honey?
Yeah.
So, I just want to go back to the PS5, though. I want to say one thing I don't like, Mag. I mean, I like the fact that, the UI is familiar, but yet different. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the store. The store is fucking weird to me now. Like, before the store, you went into it and everything was down the left side. And you had your games, what's new, PlayStation Plus. Now that you scroll down and it's all these big fucking tiles, and it seems like I can't find shit. Like, even just trying to redeem a code the other night was stupid. You had to scroll over to this fucking, at least, you know what, do a video or something when you buy a new PlayStation, because I think the Xbox had that, did they not? When you bought your new Xbox, there was a thing that started up to give you the tutorial video. Like, not like most of us needed one because we're very familiar with Xbox, but you get into PS5, it fucking fires up. You don't know where the fuck to find half of this shit. It's all hidden under these little subtiles and little sub menus now. That shit fucking drove me nuts.
Yeah, because they probably don't want you to use a code. It's like Sony's way. It's Sony's way of being like, you're gonna pay $70 for every fucking game. Period. What code? We're gonna make you hunt for it like fucking Indiana Jones. Yeah, try to find it. Yeah, but you know what? I actually didn't really pay too much close attention to the store because the only game I bought was Miles Morales. So I didn't really dive into the store too much because the other games that I have been playing, I had actually purchased because I knew I was going to get a PS5. Okay. So the point is that in the fall, end of the summer, early fall, what I ended up doing was they had a big like summer sale. So a bunch of the PS4 games that I didn't play, I bought them for like whatever, 70% off. And I bought them to play them on the PS5 with at least some kind of, foretelling knowledge that they were going to like upgrade the games for the PS5 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So like I got God of War for like $10. I got Spider-Man, the Game of the Year edition for $20 with all the DLC and everything. I got Days Gone for $20. And while Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2, I paid full price for, but that's fine. But those other ones, I didn't play. So I bought them for like next to nothing. So actually, essentially, for those three big titles, I actually paid $50. That was it. Like $50 for three big bangers. And I saved them for the PS5 because I knew that, they're going to do something because, they're touting this SSD, they're doing this, they're doing that. And then, of course, it's going to be like maybe like a little bit of like a fidelity upgrade and this and that. And I don't think they're going to do too much work on it. Like, I didn't hear anything about visual upgrades. It's not like they're going to like, do some texture work or stuff like that. I haven't heard anything, but anyways, I just knew that there'd be a better experience to play on that because the PS4 that I had was the PS4 Slim. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a vanilla PS4, right? So, it wasn't a PS4 Pro. So I knew I was going to still get the better experience on the PS5. Essentially, I'm getting the PS4 Pro version on the PS5, right? And that's better than what I was playing on the PS4, which was still remarkable, by the way, because Last of Us 2 looked fucking unbelievable on my PS4 Slim. So I haven't fired it up yet on the PS5.
That in itself is a testament to the talent or the amazing coders that Sony studios have, because here we are in this day and age with consoles that clearly, obliterate the original Xbox One and the PS4 in terms of processing power, RAM, et cetera, and yet we're still seeing games chug. So many problems with games even in today. And you're just like, if these fucking guys got God of War to run on a base model PS4, they had Spider-Man to run on a base model PS4, all these games on a base PS4, and they didn't run like bottom of the barrel, like they weren't chugging like fucking Cyberpunk 2077, which even on the Xbox One X, which should be able to run the thing without breaking a sweat either, fucking still chugging along like it's like fucking throwing a Smurf into a fucking tornado and watching it come back at you. Like what the fuck, I'm playing on the One X and I'm like, why is this game so goddamn choppy? Like, holy fuck, man. So, the Simp Army, but you see my point, right? But yeah, I know, yes, Cyberpunk is a large game and open worlds are always far more problematic. But I'm just saying, Sony has some of the most highest fidelity games that are on the planet right now, and they fucking run very respectable, if not almost really good. Like when I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn or I play God of War on my base PS4, like those games aren't like, rarely do I see any hiccups. Rarely is any hiccups. Like it's almost like a smooth 30, maybe the odd time. And there's a lot, when you get in those big battles with Kratos too, man, there's a lot of crap happening, a lot of little lighting and then flare effects and stuff. And yet the game never like gets you to the point where you're like, this game is frustrating. It's like, holy crap.
Like you're playing in a strobe light. You know what I mean? Like, especially when like a lot of shit comes on the screen at once and all of a sudden it's like you're fucking doing the robot in a 1980s nightclub with the strobe light on. And you're like, oh, okay, I see. It's gone down to 10 frames per second. Yeah. But no, that's the thing. Their games are fucking polished. You know what I mean? And so, like, people, okay, even for argument's sake, we talk shit about Sony. The company themselves, I don't fucking trust them. I don't like them as a company. But the PlayStation itself, like, you got to, like I said, got to tip your cap to them because they release polished fucking product. And it is still remarkable to this day. Like, I still can't understand how Naughty Dog, for example, and I know Sony Santa Monica released one game on the PS4. Did they release anything else on the PS4 era? Or was it just fucking God of War?
Sorry, compared to what? With Sony Santa Monica?
Yeah, like Sony Santa Monica. Did they release anything else besides God of War in the PS4 era?
Jesus, good question.
Like, I don't even know.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. Like, I can't think of anything. But
God
anyways,
of War Remastered, that was it. God of War Remastered, that's the only thing I can think of.
Right. So they released one game there, and it was fucking phenomenal. And then, but you get teams like Naughty Dog, like they released like Uncharted 4, Last of Us, remastered. I guess we can count that, I guess. Last of Us remastered, and then Last of Us 2 on that generation. And they fucking looked next gen.
And don't forget the Lost Odyssey.
Oh, right. Jesus. Yeah, that was them too?
Yeah, Uncharted, the Lost Odyssey,
oh,
Lost
right,
Legacy,
right.
whatever, with the two girls.
Uncharted, what the fuck was it? It wasn't called Lost Odyssey. What the hell was it called? Or was it Lost Odyssey? No, Uncharted.
What the fuck was that name, people? Yo, Prophet,
somebody in the chat, help us out, man.
Chat, what's the name? It was Uncharted, The Last Legacy, Lost Legacy, fucking two lesbians in a Jeep. What the fuck was it?
Yeah, that's good. I'm good with that. I'm good with the Lost Lesbians. That's fine. As long as anybody can find the Lost Lesbians.
The best thing about that, one of the best things about that game when you play that one with Nadine and Chloe was early in the game they actually made fun of the whole fucking crate, the Lost Legacy. There you go. They made fun of the fucking crates early in the game. Everybody always bitched about Uncharted and the fucking notorious crate moving puzzles in every game, and then they kind of made fun of it. That was fucking helpful. I love that shit. That was funny.
That means that they listen too, eh? They know that people they listen to complaints. It's great. But anyways, those games look fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
Like I played all of them on that PS4 Slim, and I was fucking blown away. And I was like, holy shit, these are fucking unmatched visuals, man. You can't. The only other game that I could say that matches anything that I've seen on the PS4 and the PS5, the only one I could think of is Gears of War Hivebusters. Gears of War Hivebusters is a fucking masterpiece in terms of the visual fidelity, what they've been able to do with that game. It is honestly a testament to what they can do. I haven't seen any other game look that fucking good, man. I mean, I know that Ubisoft puts out unbelievable looking games with I'm talking about first party, by the way, not third party. I'm talking about first party games. So I would say that on the Xbox side of things, the only games that can match that was Hivebusters. Because even Gears 5 looks fucking phenomenal. But Hivebusters, maybe it was because of the locale, like the jungle, like the jungle themes and like the lava areas and stuff. But man, they did a fucking great job with that. And but what I'm trying to get at is that somehow Sony can make PS4 games look just like that. How? What kind of sorcery are they doing over there, especially Naughty Dog in particular? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I just fucking buy it.
And even if you don't like Sony, even if you just can't wrap your head around Sony, you're not a big PlayStation guy, you got to at least give them credit that they make phenomenal looking games. At least some of their students. Not saying all. But I mean, even when you look at Insomniac, like this new Ratchet and Clank. I mean, even the Ratchet and Clank that apparently you can get free right now. They're giving it away for free to play days or whatever it is. So if you don't have Ratchet and Clank for your PS4, no excuses not to play it. It's a phenomenal game. It's a throwback to the original, but it's completely revamped, and it's amazing. It's one of the best platforming games you're going to ever play. So good.
That's the only one I haven't played.
Really?
Yeah, that's the Ratchet & Clank 2016 is the only Ratchet & Clank I have not played. It kind of slipped through my fingers. And then I saw the news today and I'm like, no fucking way. And the good thing is that it's not, there's nothing tied to it. Like there's no strings attached. It's not like you have to be a PS Plus member or anything like that. They're just throwing it out there for everybody. And then on top of that, you get to keep it forever. You know what I mean? Like, see what, like another thing, again, I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, like, for example, like games with gold or PS Plus games, If you stop the subscription, you can't access that game anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But this, they're actually just giving it to you forever. And that's amazing because I think it's part of I think they call it the Play at Home initiative.
That's right.
And it's trying to keep people, from the whole COVID nonsense, whatever else, they're going out and whatever. So they're trying to keep people at home and safe and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that was a really cool idea. So apparently they're going to be Ratchet & Clank is the first. And then for March, April, May, and June, they're going to be releasing one big game a month for 4 straight months.
Damn.
Yes. So they're going to be releasing 4 big titles. So guys, keep your eyes and ears open. If you have a PS4 or PS5, keep your eyes peeled because they're going to be releasing one big major game a month as part of this Play at Home initiative to promote keeping people at home and distancing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to play it, man. I'm super pumped. Is it March 1st? Do you know offhand?
I can't remember the exact date. Sometime early March. Yeah, it's coming real soon here. You have a shout out to the chat, man. Juno's 23 is up in the house. What's going on? We got Prophet in the house. We got Philly Eagle is here. We got Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul, the Simp Army Toolman still hanging out with us. Your wife's been kicking around there. Said good thing she didn't surprise you, if you know what I mean.
Actually, she just sent me a text message. She's like, "Do you need a drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a beer in the fridge." So you'll probably see her behind me in the camera waltzing in with a beer any moment now.
I love it though because
come on, Chef Trouble, where are you?
One of her messages when she popped in says, "What the heck, random awesomeness," and that's why I love you guys in the community. Your big reason I just couldn't take that time away because I realized at the end of the day that this is kind of a therapy for me, and I thought taking the time away was going to be kind of like I needed it, but then I realized, how much I miss everybody, how much I miss doing this, how much I miss Titan and Mag. This has become a part of my life, something I look forward to, and I realized how much you guys look forward to it. And I felt like I was doing a disservice by saying, I'm going to take unspecified number of months off. And, I could come back and sure you guys would be here waiting and be like all excited. But it's like, nah, man, fuck that shit. Let's get back to work. Let's put my big boy pants on here. Let's go. Let's do it. Nukem style. Boom, boom, kaboom, baby. We can't do without the boom. Oh, she's coming. I think she's coming. I heard something crack.
Hey, Husk, you're not the only one who could crack a fresh beer on the air, buddy.
Oh, yeah, but your wife did it for you. Oh, look at that. And he got a Molson Canadian.
Yeah. Good little Canadian boy right here. Canadian, Italian, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Yeah.
Graphic God would say that you're drinking horse piss there. You don't like it. That's blasphemy, man. If you're fucking from Canada and you don't like Molson Canadian, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, come on, man. I know there's you know why? Because the new trend is like everybody's like, oh, well, if it's not IPA, then I don't drink it. And I'm like, oh, so it tastes like cold skunk piss. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like those fucking IPA beers and like, oh, if it's not Flying Monkeys, I don't want it.
I don't want no flavored beer shit. I want real fucking beer.
It's like, is it raspberry? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I drink beer for fucking beer. I don't want fucking beer coolers. What the fuck, man?
I went to a pinball bar. This is actually really cool. Like my brothers and my cousin, the doctor, he was there actually, and we went out to this retro pinball bar, right? And it was literally just a bar in downtown Toronto. It was just literally just piled full of pinball machines, right? And I'm like, this is fucking dope. So we went in there. We started, and what you do is you just pay like $10 or $15 and you get unlimited play on all the pinball machines, right? So I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So I go up to the bar and I'm like, yeah, what do you guys got going on here? And the girl's like, we only carry Ontario microbrewery beers. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so what do you got? And she's like, well, we have a raspberry beer. And we have a honey maple lager. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Thank you. And I went to the guys. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the pinball. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then we did. We left. And then we went to the strip club where they served Molson Canadian.
Oh.
And then got kicked out of there. Different story.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Juno says all beer, nasty piss water.
Damn it, Junos, you're not coming back on another podcast if you keep saying things like that.
That's right. Gotta love a good cold beer, man. For me, the best time you can have a beer is after a fucking hockey game, man. When you're all fucking sweaty and tired, those things just go down like crazy.
Like fucking water, man. Yeah.
So, Just while I'm setting a few things up here, Meg,
Yes,
what do
sir.
you think about fucking, more PlayStation games going to PC? Some people seem to be really upset about it. I mean, us Xbox guys, we're kind of used to it now. It's kind of old hat. It's been kind of happening for a while. And personally, you know what? I'm a multi-console gamer, so I really don't give a shit. Like I said, I don't game on PC. That never bothered me. I don't plan on tomorrow, and this doesn't bother me that one fucking iota. As long as Sony keeps pumping money into great exclusives, they're still console exclusive. That's the thing. It does so. There you go, right? And I can get
Okay.
them on my PlayStation. I'm cool with that. How do you feel about it all? And like I said, some people are got their titties up in a knot.
Yeah. I don't get it. And the thing is, the reason why I buy a console, whatever console, okay, if I buy the Series X, well, for example, like this generation, I got the Series X sitting over there, and on the other side, I got the PS5. I'm using those consoles as a vehicle to be able to play the games I want to play. Okay. I don't give a shit where it goes. If it goes on the Nintendo Switch or if it goes on the PC, those don't affect me because I'm not buying those vehicles, so to speak, in order to play those games. Right? I'm literally just buying the X. I don't give a fuck about like the console itself. I'm not sitting there going, "Oh, well, I'm buying it because it's only on Xbox." What the hell does that matter to you if you're playing the game? Like, it doesn't matter where you're playing the game. I'm using it as a vehicle to get to the game. To me, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's what's taking me to that game. That's it. It's access. So I don't care how I access it as long as I can access it on my fucking TV. So if it's on the PC, if it's on the Xbox, if it's on the PlayStation, I don't care. It's whatever I buy. I prefer console because I've always preferred the plug and play. I'm not an idiot. I know how to run a PC. I have a PC. I'm staring at it, a very capable PC that can run all the fucking games on Steam and everything else, high settings. But I'm not interested. Okay, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to sit there with my fucking mouse and clicking OLPX while I'm fucking trying to play Call of Duty. That's not my idea of gaming. My idea of gaming is having the console controller in my hand. And I know you can play controller on PC. I understand all that. But I don't want to be, farting around with sliders and shit. I want to turn the fucking thing on and I want to play. That's it. Now, if Xbox offer those games, great. I'll play it on the Xbox. I buy Xbox for that. I buy Xbox for Game Pass and for their first party that's coming up because that Microsoft is coming with the thunder this generation, especially after the Bethesda deal is sealed. They're going to move on to other stuff and it's going to be magnificent. Great. I buy the PlayStation to play the PlayStation games because that's where I can get them. I'm not going to have a fucking $3,000 PC and sit there and wait 3 years to play Days Gone. If I want to play Days Gone or God of War or Spider-Man, I will buy the PlayStation 5. I don't care where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the point, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people agree or disagree with me, but whatever. That's just the way I do it. So I just use them as something to get to the games I want to play. Like, for example, if Resident Evil was only on, if it was on the PlayStation and the PC, am I going to get pissed off? No, I'm going to play it on my PS5 and move on with my life. Yeah. I don't care if other people get to play it. Like, I don't get why people get angry about that. Like, they feel like they own it or they're part of that company or like, oh, they're giving us a reason to buy the PS5. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just buy whatever you want in order to be able to play that game.
And Spider-Man says in the chat, I thought Sony fans all have that high-power PC, right? And Philly comes back, says majority of those claiming they would play on PC don't actually have PCs. And I totally agree. Like, I don't know, it's a lot of hot air for nothing, I guess you could say, because at the end of the day, look, let's call the spade a spade. PlayStation 4 has sold 100 plus million consoles. Fantastic. But when your best games struggle, I mean, they're all selling well. Don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. 10 million copies of a game is still a phenomenal day in the sales world. But when you have 100 plus million and you don't even come, close to cracking the numbers of Madden or like I said, Call of Duty and those type of things, like I said, we're hearing like a lot of the times they sell like to less than 10%. 10% of the ownership, which is quite small when you got 100 plus million. You think that most of these games would easily crack 25 million, right? You think, but they don't. but they don't. And if they do, it usually takes them 4 or 5 years. A lot of these games we know are not cheap to make, right? They have big studios, big production budgets. I think even, Jim Ryan has basically stated these games are very, very costly to make. They take many, many years, like God of War did. It was, 4 or 5 years of the making, which explains why Sony Santa Monica hasn't had a lot of games out. So, you spend all that money, you bring out the game, and it does well. But when you're going, well, it does really well, but we got 100+ million. Why is it like half of our PlayStation population buying, or why doesn't half of the Xbox population buy, a certain game that they have, and vice versa? Staggered. Because when you think about it, remember Nintendo with the Switch? Nintendo Switch was selling fucking Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild to people that didn't even have a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, the attach rate the attach rate for the games were more than the consoles.
Yeah, so Nintendo, when you look at their numbers, we just stated that on Gaming After Dark, a week or two ago, where Animal Crossing was nearly at 40 fucking million or something like that. And they only have like 80 something million Switches sold, so that's nearly 50%.
Yeah,
but yeah, I get it. A part of the problem, I suppose, for PlayStation is a lot of the games are rated M for mature, which means that definitely limits the amount of their audience. But why doesn't a Ratchet and Clank sell 25 or 30 million?
Right.
Why doesn't these other games? You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. So they want to make money. They want to get their investment back, and they want to reach a larger audience, which is why that Xbox does PC. Because even if the Xbox struggles to sell consoles, they've already got PCs established at home. Same thing with phones. Everybody has a phone. So if you can get your games on a phone and you can make some money, it's better than making no fucking money. This is the thing, right? That's how it goes.
It could also be price. And I'm going to touch on this a little bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just going to say I think it's also price. And a lot of people don't put enough weight on that. Because if you think about it, if you get I'm going to attack this from like three different areas here. If you think about it for a second, you get the Madden Call of Duty guys, right? Let's say they're paying $70 American, okay, per game. They're spending $140 for the whole year, and that's it. They're not buying Ratchet and Clanks and God of Wars and Spider-Mans and Gears of War and Halos and all that kind of stuff. They're buying those 2 games. So they're spending $140 a year on those 2 games, or maybe FIFA or whatever. Okay. And that's it. So they'll buy that. That's one aspect. Look at the second aspect. The second aspect is this. What are the most popular, most played games in the world right now? All free-to-play games.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got Call of Duty Warzone, free-to-play. Fortnite, free-to-play. Okay. And then you've got, what else you got there? You've got, I'm not going to even include like Fall Guys or anything. What was that last one? Among Us.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't that free to play for PlayStation at least, or given away?
I don't even think, is it even on PlayStation? I think it's still on mobile, isn't it?
Yeah, right. It's on mobile too. Yeah. And it is free.
Yeah.
Those are like the most played games in the world. I'm pretty sure I'm missing one. Oh, Apex Legends. Sorry.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Apex Legends, free to play. Are we noticing a fucking trend here? Free, free, and free.
Yeah.
And those are the most played games. And the thing is, the market for those games are generally, I'm not saying everybody, but generally a younger audience. Yep. That younger audience does not have the money to be able to buy $70 games. Who do they have to turn to? Their parents. And their parents are going to go, the kid comes up and goes, Ma, I want this game. And the parent comes downstairs. All right, let me see what's going on. They go to the fucking store and they're like, "Whoa, $90 fucking dollars!"
Yeah, and the latest
like, "Fuck 10... you, little Jimmy. Yeah, you're not fucking getting this."
Yeah, and the latest top 10 paid games again, and it's almost the same fucking thing month after, and it actually drives me bonkers. I know it shouldn't, but it does. Top 10. Here's what dominates the top fucking 10: Call of Duty, the new one, Cold War. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare from last year, still there. You got Madden, FIFA, so that's 4 of the top 10 right there. Then you got, I think it's Mario Kart is still in there. That game's been out for a couple years now. Mario Kart 8. You've got Animal Crossing. I think it's Smash Brothers, GTA 5, which, like I said, whose fucking grandmother doesn't have a copy of this fucking game?
I know, it's crazy,
And
eh?
plus, what didn't they just re-release it again for PS5? Or they're making
Yeah,
it
they
again?
did, and it actually got onto the MPDs again. And I'm like, you got to
Oh
be
my
fucking kidding me, man!
god!
Who doesn't own this
Like
fucking game? It's been out for 8 years.
they said like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was announced that Grand Theft Auto 5, and I assume this is on all platforms, and since it released in 2013 on the 360 PS3, has sold over, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they said over 140 million
Yeah,
copies.
yeah,
I believe it.
I
Because
believe
it's
it
been
too.
in the fucking top 10 since 2013.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. You know what, Philly Eagle? I see what you're saying here. You're saying, or you could wait for a sale. Here's the thing, though, brother. A lot of parents are not trolling the fucking store, the Xbox store or the PlayStation store to see when sales are coming up. They're not paying attention. They don't give a shit because they're living their lives. They're not gamers. They're not interested. The kids don't even know how to do it. My son doesn't even know. My son plays the Xbox every single day. He doesn't know how to navigate the store at all. Okay. But the thing is, when they want that game, then all of a sudden, like I said, when they see, they're like, oh, I want the game. So the parent finds the game, and then they find out after tax, after everything, you're talking almost $100. The parent's going to say, fuck no. And that's what's happening. And they're like, fucking play the free-to-play shit. And then they do. They play those Fortnite. Like I said, the Fortnites, the Warzones, the Apex Legends, the Among Us, whatever. Sorry, there was the other one, the fucking soccer game with the goddamn cars. Rocket League.
Rocket League.
And
Soccer cars.
Yeah, soccer cars. Yeah, sorry, Crap Gamer calls it that. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I'm just saying that game. Okay, Rocket League as well. Okay, so those are all games that are all free to play. And guess what? That's really fucking entertaining and enticing to a parent who does not want to spend $100 per game. Yes, I understand there's microtransactions involved there too, but microtransactions are a lot easier to swallow. It's a much smaller pill to swallow than $100 up front. Like if a kid comes up and he wants $10 worth of V-Bucks, they'll be like, whatever. It's the same as going to the fucking grocery store and getting them an ice cream or something, or a fucking couple candy bars. It's basically the same thing, right? So you could do that once in a while. It's not that big of a deal. And that's how they get you, because then over the course of the year, you did spend that $100. But the thing is, it's easier to swallow when it's only $10 at a time, $10 at a time. And that's why they all moved towards those microtransactions, because they know that they're much. And of course, Xbox with Game Pass, it's much easier to swallow $15 a month as opposed to spending, especially Noof, you and I, $100 fucking dollars per game, right? $100. Let that sink in, folks. $100 a game here in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a lot easier to swallow $15 a month than spending $100 per fucking game. That's the way I see it. I don't know. That's just so that's the thing.
Logic.
So price is, I think price is a major factor in why those numbers aren't so high for those games. And yes, when they go on sale, more people buy them. But the thing is, those people that are buying them are generally still the hardcore audience, which only makes up about 15% of the gaming community.
Yeah, I also think too, when games finally sell when they're low in price, here's the thing. You usually got people that when they're buying them because they're $10 or $20, it kind of tells you right from the get-go, they're buying the game because it's cheap. They're not buying the game because they've always wanted the game. Because if you want a game, you fucking go out and buy it. You don't wait fucking 5 years after the game's up. Be like, I've been waiting for this game 5 years, baby. Finally time to pull the trigger. No, nobody does that shit. You buy when that's only like budget players and people that, oh, well, yeah, it's God of War. It's in the budget bin now. Let's go get it. I get it, and that's cool. Like, you buy the game, great, you enjoy it. But the thing is, what my point is, when people buy the games up front on day one as well, those are the people that are most likely to spend revenue within the game. So let's say it's a multiplayer game. You get the game day one, and you invest in it over the course, because then by the time the sequel comes out, you're moved on, and you're spending money again into a newer ecosystem. People that pick those games up usually cheap are not investing in the microtransactions, because they're not really that invested in the game to begin with. They're just like, I got the cheap game. Like who wants to buy map packs? Say if the game's cost you $20 Canadian, right? Who wants to buy the map pack fucking 3 or 4 years later and there's nobody fucking playing the thing? What game was I on there recently? It was Battlefield 4. I fucking fired up Battlefield 4 and had a hard time finding people playing it.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there were some people, but it's all these private servers, and I just went into quick play and I was waiting. I was like, this is not a good fucking sign. Nobody's playing this thing anymore.
That's funny you mentioned that, because I did that with Bad Company 2 when EA Play first. Well, what was it called before that? EA something else. But anyways, I went on there. I got the EA Play, and I saw Bad Company 2 on there, and I'm like, oh man, that was my fucking jam. I love that game. And so I went into multiplayer, and it would take like 30 minutes just to get into a single match.
Yeah.
And it would only be like 5 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like 3 versus 2 in this giant fucking map. Right. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Right. So I just stopped playing it because there was, there just weren't enough people in there. So it was pretty stupid. But anyways, yeah, I get it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the way I look at it.
Yeah. We got a couple of...
Sorry, go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, we got a couple of super chats. This one coming in from a new person I don't recognize. Felix Betancourt. What's happening, Felix? Thanks for dropping by. This is cool. He drops $2. He drops a cool $2 in the super chat. Thanks, Felix. Greatly appreciate it. And the doctor, once again, saving the day, dropping $5 in the super chat. Hey, Arnold, are you there? Would you rather have a Persian kitty with a little hair or a Danish kitty shaved? I guess he's asking Arnold. I'm going to have to bring him in here. I didn't know Arnold's always on standby. So, Arnold, you there? Are you hanging around in the back? Coming. Wait there. What was the question? Oh. Hey, Arnold, are you there? Would you rather a Persian kitty with a little hair or a Danish kitty shaved? I don't really want either one. I'm more of a dog person. No, what the hell is this? What the kind of question is that, the doctor? Well, at least this time this week, the doctor's got it away from the asshole question. Because every fucking week suffices some kind of asshole question. So this time he's talking about pussy. And I do love a bit of pussy. Now, I don't know which kind of pussy he's talking about if I go just to the SPCA and get this pussy. Or it's the kind of pussy that, we're talking about like after midnight kind of pussy. But if it is, you got the Persian kitty with I like a little bit of grass on the field. You know what I mean? It makes me want to play ball. I don't really like it bald. I start to feel like I'm having sex with some kind of a kid or something like that. It's kind of weird. I don't want that kind of stuff. I want to look down. I want to see a little runway, a little strip that's enticing. But at the same time, I don't want it to be overflowing with hair. I don't want to get down there and lose my face. So every time there's a bit of drool, it's coming back at you. You're like tasting yourself. I don't want that. Or, sometimes you go down there and you're trying to give it a couple of good shoves and then everything kind of gets tangled. It's all like, what the hell? Or you go down there because you really want you to go deep and like a deep dish pizza and get in there. And all you're doing is you're going lick, lick, spit, lick, lick, spit. I don't want to do that shit. That's not for me. But I hope I answered your question, doctor. You're awesome. Stay away from the assholes. We're here. The only asshole that's here tonight is Noof Nukem. You're an asshole. And don't leave anymore. People will hate you for it. Don't do it. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you and keep true to yourself and make sure you come on the podcast. Because if you're not doing this podcast, Noof, I can't come on here to answer all these fucking crazy questions. There you go.
That was fucking fantastic. You know what? Shout out to Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul. He's like, Mag almost spit his beer on his fucking PC. And I actually did on the front half of my keyboard. You just said something that just made me fucking just go, and I just just a little bit. Nah, I just wiped it down. Yeah, it's all good. That was fantastic, Arnold. Thank you, sir.
There you go. He likes a little grass on the field, Arnold. There you go.
You got another one just came in, buddy.
What? Another what? Or grass?
You got another super chat from Regulator 951.
No. Oh, here it is. Oh, geez, you're ahead of me already. What the hell? I must have some kind of Western lag here. Regulator once again dropping $4.99 in the super chat. Best believe Uplay is going to Game Pass soon, especially after EA Access has seen a boost in their service and games. He may be onto something. They have definitely got a good relationship. Yes, indeed. You could be very right indeed, Mr. Regulator. Thanks for that super chat. Thanks for that awesome comment. Good stuff. What do you think about this other guy? What's his name? The developer there that was with the initiative. He left a couple weeks ago. Of course, took a bit of flack because he left the initiative, said, due to health and family reasons, blah, blah, blah. And now, I think it was yesterday, he turns up, he's back on social media, and he's saying how he's glad to be back in his old home at Insomniac. As some kind of developer, director, or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he's got a new position with his old studio. Drew Murray, that's his name, Drew Murray. Pretty obviously name is synonymous quality things with Insomniac. I think he was one of the pioneers behind Sunset Overdrive, if I'm correct. And so yeah, he's going home, so to speak. So do you think it was everything that transpired, him leaving the initiative, was everything that he kind of made it out to be? Or do you think ultimately, like I said, he was approached with these guys, maybe feels a little bit more comfortable in a place that he spent more time in? How do you feel about it, Mag? Does that even bother you at all? Do you think it's just like, because look, Mag, on the other side of the coin, we have seen what's his name step down from 343. We saw Rod Ferguson leave the coalition, surprisingly, when he was supposed to be locked in there, and he went over to fucking Blizzard. And now we got Drew Murray, who kind of comes in, upstarts this studio with everybody here, the initiative, and then he takes off. So what the fuck is going on? Like, is it just, am I making a Jew out of nothing here, or is there some kind of something wrong at Microsoft somewhere that's driving these guys out?
I don't think there's anything that's driving them out from Microsoft. I got to say, Philly Eagle pretty much nailed it in the chat there. He was just saying it's not about making money; it's about making more money. At the end of the day, I'm kind of looking at this like Michael Corleone would say, is like, it's not personal, Sonny. It's just business. And I think that's all it is. I'm not really sure there's a news story behind it. I really don't think there's any drama behind it. I actually just think at the end of the day, maybe, see, we don't know all the inner workings of what's going on back. Like, he could have just had like a working contract. The working contract came to an end. Yeah. And maybe they gave him an offer to renew, or maybe they didn't offer him to renew, because corporations are pretty fucking cold, man. Like, I work for one and I know, and I just had somebody, and I'm not going to obviously not going to get into specifics. And I've had somebody who worked with me for 17 years. 17 years. Can you imagine that? Mm-hmm. With the same corporation, and gave their 2 weeks notice. And then after that said, hey, listen, for the last couple of weeks, I need a slightly modified schedule because, I'm trying to incorporate being able to transition into my new job or whatever. The same people that she worked for 17 years, fucking sent her packing that day. They just said, nope, fuck off, go home. Yeah. And that's how they basically threw her out, and she had to be escorted out of the building. Yeah. And after 17 years of fucking slaving and service, that's what you get. So what I'm getting at, the point is that corporations are cold and don't give a fuck. So if they offered him another contract, let's say, or tried to renew his contract and say, listen, this is what we're offering, and it wasn't to his liking, he says, all right, well, I'm just going to go here because, Insomniac is offering X amount. And they're like, all right, that's cool. Whatever. Just do your thing. Because, I mean, if you look at it at the end of the day, the gaming business, very much like the restaurant business, it's a revolving door. Yeah. And it's just, you have the few constants who never go anywhere. And then you have that door that's constantly fucking spinning in circles with new faces in, old faces out. And it's just constant. So, and you could see it like the developers, like I said, I like to liken it to the restaurant business. I work in restaurants where I could be in a restaurant for 7 years as the chef or as the executive chef or whatever, right? And I could go through fucking 25 other line cooks and chefs in 2 years because they just keep coming in, and all of a sudden another restaurant offers them $1 more. Mm-hmm. And they fuck off and they go over there. And then all of a sudden, the restaurant across from them says, oh, I heard that Billy's really fucking incredible on the line. I need that guy. Give him an extra $1, get him over here. It's the same thing with developers. It's the same thing. It's like the Wild West. Like, whoever offers you the most amount of money, they're going to go there. So I think that's all it is. I don't think it's personal. Again, like I said, it ain't personal, Sonny.
No, it's probably not. Like, JH in the chat says lower position at Insomnia, by the way, and I think he's correct. And I think that is part of the personal. And this is it as well. Like, I definitely agree with JH here. I think the position itself probably comes with less responsibility. Now, like I said, if he is going through some stuff in his life, totally understandable. Sometimes you just, it's still part of the gaming business. But when you're part of an established company that's been around for a long time, and you have systems and you have friends and you have, you have that familiarity. It's totally different than taking your talents over, especially to a new studio where you're bringing in everybody and you're hoping for the best. You're hoping that everything's going to gel and come together. And we're in a very difficult time. We're in a difficult time. This would have been difficult for a new studio under regular circumstances, but it's even more difficult when you're basically trying to get a studio off the ground and a brand new game to come out during friggin' COVID, when you can't even see your staff only over video, which is part of the reason, to be quite honest. And I'm not making excuses for CD Projekt Red, but I really think that COVID messed with them big time. They were under pressure to get that game out, but I highly think that under normal circumstances, under normal work weeks, under normal conditions, I don't think the game would have been as broken as it has been. I think that trying to get a whole team together and make stuff like at home under like where there's no supervisors watching you, where the timelines are obviously far more lenient, where you don't have the ability to tap a person on the shoulder and say, I need your input on this. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not talking 15 people studios here, people. We're talking studios that have hundreds of moving parts. Can you imagine trying to put that together when you've got a sound guy who's trying to put a soundtrack to other games, so he's got to sit there and watch footage? And if we all know, when you're sharing file sizes and stuff, unless it's in sort of the cloud or wherever the fuck, that's not even easy to do. Like, just try to send a 4K video to somebody, and it takes like forever, right? So, like, I'm not a dev, but I think I'm smart enough to know that, like, fucking trying to make a multi-million-dollar game when your studio spread out all over fuck knows where during this time cannot be easy. We're obviously starting to see the strains of production from Japan and China on consoles because their factories are not at capacity. They don't have as many people working there as they used to because of regulations. Right. AMD doesn't have can't get all of their parts, all of these conductors and the chips and different things, which is slowing it down. And it's partly, again, because production is not up to pre-COVID standards. So, Paul says some people think he's lying about his personal issues. I think that's horse shit. We don't know what's going on in his life, and I don't think he would have put it out there if there wasn't something going on. So I think that's horse shit. The guy definitely, lost people in his life, and we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Sometimes it is cut and dry. Like, I think when it comes to Rod Ferguson, I'm pretty sure for him it was a little bit of probably a great offer on the table. And I think Mike Ibarra had a large part in Rod going over there, because Mike left first.
Yeah, of course, they're friends,
right? And then Rod left.
Friends. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, if you got a good job somewhere else, and it's the same. Like I said, I just said it like 5 minutes ago. Same thing with the restaurant thing. I would go to another restaurant and be like, and then all of a sudden, I would hire one of my buddies as my sous chef, and I would just tell the owner, I'd be like, hey, listen, man, I got this dude. He's a great fucking dude, man. He's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the guy that's gonna like elevate this place. I need him here. And then all of a sudden, what happens? I bring him over from my restaurant, from my old restaurant, bring him into the new restaurant. It's like literally the same thing. It's actually kind of funny how that, like I said, the restaurant business and the dev business is almost the same idea. It's like, all those overtime hours, all this other stuff, and then everybody just kind of following the money, right? Everybody trying to follow the thing. Now, however, that whole situation with him, with the personal situation with his brother passing away and everything else, obviously that's got to play a part of it. But as for going to another company, I'm not going to speculate on that because I don't know why. Someone else actually in the chat, I don't know who, because the chat kind of moved faster than I could see it. But they also mentioned, said, hey, maybe someone from Insomniac got a hold of him and said, hey, maybe that would help him get through it and maybe take a lesser position and maybe keep his mind busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Like, look at, I want to tie it into Hollywood for 2 seconds here. Look at Zack Snyder. Yeah. Like, Zack Snyder was like, what, 30% through filming, maybe 40% through filming Justice League. Yep. And then his fucking daughter killed herself, man. Like, that's fucking crazy. And then he just left Hollywood. I don't know if anybody knew about that, but that's a thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And so his daughter killed herself, and he left Hollywood. Yep. And then he walked away from the picture. And then all of a sudden, Warner Brothers started getting a hold of him and got him back, and then kind of got him back in the saddle, so to speak, and got him back. And now all of a sudden he's focused, and now he's making films for Netflix. He's making a new zombie movie for Netflix that's coming out soon. He's got the Justice League Zack Snyder cut coming out, whatever. And, obviously he's got friends there. I mean, come on, man. You don't just work for somebody you don't have friends there. And maybe they were just trying to help him out and say, hey, listen, man, let's get you back on track, dude. Like, you're a fucking brilliant filmmaker. Totally. I don't care what people say about his movies. I fucking love his movies. I personally love his vision and whatever. And it's just like the way he does his thing. They're like, hey, man, let's help you out. So maybe this is the same situation. We'll never know because we don't know these guys, right? But all we can do is speculate.
Yeah, I know. And speculation is fun for what, it's like I said, speculation and theories and stuff help drive our channels, and nobody can say differently. Your wife said it perfect in the chat. People do whatever's best for them and the family. It's no one else's place to question it, no one else's business. She's 100% correct on that. But, there's also the other saying, there's two sides to every story. And we know there's truth, and we know there's corporate truth as well. That people put out there what they want us to see, what they want us to read. Like I said, tabloids like to make things up. Tabloids like to go with the what do you call it? The more flamboyant, the more, the version that's going to sell papers, the version that's going to sell a website. Do you know what I mean? So they want to go with that headline that's going to grab you and draw you in. Is there trouble brewing at Microsoft? Do you know what I mean?
Of course, it's clickbaity stuff. It makes them money. Like it brings in traffic. It makes them money.
And sometimes, you know what? There is truth there. Because let's look at, like, I like Cliffy B, right? I like Cliffy B. I think the guy's pretty cool. But I don't know him personally, right? I just think he's pretty cool. But we also know, based on his past history, some of the things he said, some of the interviews he's done, and of course his history since leaving what the fuck's what's their name there? Epic Games. He's had a troubled history since leaving Epic Games, right? Yeah. And the funny thing is, he kind of stepped away, and it really makes you wonder: is there two truths? Because we heard a lot of people say that Cliffy's got a big ego. Cliffy is a certain way, has certain standards. Difficult. You hear that all the time, and it's true. Because no matter what business you're in, and guys, we all work regular jobs, right? And don't tell me you've never worked a job where you have very talented people in your workplace. And same with you, Meg. You probably work sometimes with really talented people. But then at the same fucking time, they're difficult to work with. They've got the skill, but they're hard to fucking work with because they want everything their way. They're not team players sometimes. That's the thing. It's like their way or the highway, and it goes with that. And don't tell me it's not part of the games business. If you do, you're full of shit, because you know what happens. You can't tell me when you got 300 people in a studio and you got one person, like I said, your producer, your director. It happens in the movie biz. It happens in the music biz. We see bands that were together for fucking years, and you hear stories of how the fucking lead singer couldn't stand the fucking drummer, or you know what I mean? And yet they're making music together, right? Highly talented, but there's two sides. And we think that everything's roses in the game industry. No, it is not. Sometimes you're sitting there probably with this idea that you think, I got this idea that's going to help sell this game. And some corporate shill steps in and says, nah, man, that fucking shit's bullshit, man. That ain't going nowhere. You put that on the table. You sit your ass back in the chair. You see what I'm saying? So that happens, and it happens more than we think it does. Sometimes,
can you imagine working with Kojima?
Yeah.
Like Hideo Kojima? Like, he probably walks in there and to be like, bring me the tears of children to put in my tea.
Can you imagine the guys working on that fucking game? Can you imagine the guys doing Death Stranding and they're thinking, what the fuck is this? Because I'm pretty sure if they're putting it together, the dude's walking around with packaging. Like, what's the payoff? What's the deal? The story is weird. If you play Death Stranding, while it's intriguing, you got to say it's a fucking weird game.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, I actually heard from more than one person that actually Hideo Kojima is actually very difficult to work with, and he is exactly what people think he is. Like a lot of people saying that he actually is he's a prima donna, and he wants it. I mean, I understand. Like, I mean, if it's his vision and he wants it his way, that's fine. I mean, it's his project and you're helping him realize his project. That's cool. But I also heard that he's very confrontational and difficult to work with.
And dude, look, every time I left the podcast, because obviously I was on various podcasts, everybody said, I had people asking, oh, did you have a falling out with them? You can't get along with such and such? No, never had a problem with any single person I've ever podcasted with. I've never had an issue with them personally. I've enjoyed it. It was personal reasons and timing issues is why I stepped away from the podcast as I was on previously. Not to do with the host, not to do with the panel. It was personal issues, and this just worked out better. But you see what I'm saying? Like, people make shit up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course they do, because it's like I said, that's what gets you. That's what draws traffic to your site.
Yeah, Tony Baloney, I'm sure, drove Nukem nearly and drove Nukem away.
Yeah.
You know, like, somebody will say something stupid like that, but you know.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah. Like, it'd be like something ridiculous. Actually, I did say that last week as Tony Baloney, I believe.
Oh, yes, I think
I was saying that I was the reason why Numa's taking a break. Yeah, it's just like, you know.
Too much Smite talk.
Yeah, too much Smite talk. Thank you. Who said that? Regulator 951, thank you. We just have issues with Smite. Excellent. Thank you for that.
Speaking of the Kojima thing, did you see the Kojima statue behind Phil Spencer? Hello?
Was that an actual Kojima statue?
Yes.
I saw something about that.
Yeah, that's the icon they use for the game. I forget what his name is, Jotun or something like that. That's a Kojima statue behind Phil Spencer today, right next to his Xbox Lite.
I couldn't even put the hat on. I was going to say, well, wait a minute. All of a sudden, I got to pull out the pipe for that. I got to pull out the Sherlock Holmes pipe for that one. Are you kidding me?
Well, what the speculations, I read an article that Death Stranding will probably come to Xbox, and that wouldn't surprise me in the least. If it does, great. If it doesn't, who cares? Well, either way.
Let me tell you something. Phil Spencer and company, whenever they make an online video or anything, nothing is by accident. So if you want to trace back to last year, actually even almost a year and a bit ago, when they did a promo video for the Series X, well, they didn't even announce the Series S yet. The dude in the video is wearing the fucking headphones that are coming out in March. You know, the new Xbox headphones?
Yep.
They never said a goddamn word about it. He's just wearing those fucking headphones. And I never thought about it. I tore that video apart looking for stuff, and I'm like, all right, he's wearing headphones. And you just keep going on. And then all of a sudden, if you fast forward all the way till now, to February 2021, you're like, that motherfucker was wearing those headphones that they're now about to sell. Now, another example. Phil Spencer in the summer was having a little bit of an interview, whatever. And on the bookshelf behind him, as we all know, anybody who's in the know, he had the Series S shoved in between like 3 books on his bookshelf behind him, and it looked like a fucking book. But that was the Series S, and he's being a cheeky bastard, which he is, and I love it. I love that he does that. And then another one is that if you actually watch a video, I think it was there was a podcast with Phil Spencer, Todd Howard, and what the hell is his name? Captain Kangaroo there. What the hell's his name? The old dude. Damn it, what's his name?
From who? From what company?
He used to do the Inside Xbox.
Oh, Larry Herb.
Larry Herb. There we go. Yeah, I call him Captain Kangaroo because he kind of looks like him. Anybody old enough to remember Captain Kangaroo would know. Yeah, anyways, him. Yeah, so Larry Herb, they had that podcast, the Larry Herb's podcast, right? And so there was the 3 of them. And if you actually look right behind them, they had the idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark. You remember the idol from the very, the first opening scene, with the big fucking boulder and all that shit? And he goes, if only you spoke Jovitos, and that idol, that was sitting right behind Todd Howard's fucking head. Okay, that's not by accident, folks. Okay, so in the last in the last 4 minutes, I gave you 3 fucking examples where they actually put something in the background as a hint. Now, if you're telling me this now, Noof, I'm sorry, this is no coincidence. Yeah, so something is happening.
Plus, today's conversation, I didn't catch any of it on it like a little bit this morning, and that Phil's talking about obviously the cloud and how the future is gaming services on the cloud, how the cloud is going to do the heavy footwork where consoles and high-powered end machines are no longer required. You'll just need an account to access and play the best games. And the funny thing is, he's got a Switch behind him as well on the top shelf today. Never seen that before. So Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. Is there something going on with Nintendo and Switch and Xbox? It's Game Pass. We've heard that rumor before, and you never fucking know. With Microsoft, it wouldn't friggin' surprise me. Put Game Pass on the Switch through the cloud, right? So the Switch doesn't have to do the heavy lifting. The cloud will do that. You just need a good fucking internet connection. We got a super chat coming in from Percolator. Drops $5.
Percolator!
Sorry, I'm late, but here, take my money. I feel used.
Yes,
LOL.
yes, you do.
Well, we'll use you anytime, Percolator. Thanks so much for that amazing super chat. Greatly appreciate it, brother.
Percolator, if I'm not too hungover, dude, hit me up tomorrow morning, man.
Philly says he's a gamer. No need to read into it. No, and I'm not trying to make much about anything, Philly. Just you see, obviously now because of everything that Mag just mentioned, of course we're gonna be like fine. We're going to take a magnifying glass every fucking time these guys do an interview now, looking for clues to something big. I don't think it's fun. I think
three
it's great.
examples. I gave you three examples that all came true.
Yeah.
Not came true, but you know what I mean? They all things that happened and they all correlated. So they can't be an accident. I'm sorry. Like, you can't say 3 times the charm, 4 times not. Like, come on, man. There's got to be something there.
How many interviews has Phil done? I've never seen a Switch in the back of him before. He's clearly got the Switch because he got the blue and red controller, like it's on the shelf. I get it, but why would you have the Switch on the shelf behind you? It's not a fucking entertainment shelf he's got there. There's no TVs back there. It's a Switch fucking up there and a Kojima thing by the Xbox light. So you can't help but kind of go, is there something up? We've heard enough rumblings over the last while. We know that Nintendo and Xbox are definitely far closer to partnerships than fucking Sony and Microsoft, you know what I mean?
Right. But Kojima's not that far off from Microsoft either. I mean, he'll follow the money. I mean, let's face it. Do you guys remember the Xbox One? Kojima was on stage at the Xbox One E3 showing Metal Gear Solid 5. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was Xbox that he showed it on. He didn't show it on Sony. But then Sony threw money at him for Death Stranding, and then he fucking went over there. Well, and also PT there, what's it called? The playable teaser for Silent Hills. They threw money at him. He followed the fucking money. That's a smart move. Doesn't mean he's like whoring himself out. It means he's fucking smart, man. He's following the cash. Whoever's throwing the cash at him, that's where he's gonna fucking go. So you never know, man. And you know how Phil is. He wants to get that fucking big blueprint in Japan.
Could you imagine? Okay, if it's not Dead Stranding, because apparently I think Sony owns the IP to Dead Stranding. So if that is correct, obviously there's going to be difficulties there for sure. But could you imagine if this is Microsoft starting a studio and giving Kojima the reins to it?
Fuck, you never know, because Phil has openly said he wants his developers and the Xbox game studios to just do their thing. He wants them to be free to do their thing. He's like, just do it. Just follow your visions. Just give us something interesting. Give us something different. Give us something diverse. And he's openly said that. He's like, I'm giving our developer teams whatever freedoms they require in order to, follow their dream. Do you think a game like Grounded would have ever come out on Sony? Being funded by Sony? Not a fucking chance. Do you think a game like Bleeding Edge would have ever come out on any other system other than on the Xbox? Because Phil has said, no, man, just fuck it. I'm giving you creative freedom. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for.
Yep.
Creative freedom. He said that word for word. He says, I'm giving you creative freedom to do whatever is required in order to give us a diverse portfolio.
Yeah.
For Xbox Game Studios / Xbox Game Pass. And by doing that, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, Microsoft's got fuck you money. You know what I mean? So they can just, I know they have a budget. It's not endless. But at the same time, they got fuck you money. So they could be like, Bleeding Edge, fuck it, release it. Just do it. It's not going to affect them one goddamn bit. You know what I mean? The Bethesda deal, they've already made double that money since they fucking purchased Bethesda. And that's the Xbox Studios, not fucking Microsoft. Yeah. Xbox Studios has already doubled, okay, the money that they cost them to buy Bethesda from fucking September all the way to January 2021. Okay? They have the freedom to do these things. And of course, by having the backing of Microsoft, the rest of Microsoft, they've got the freedom to do this. So why not give Kojima a studio and just say, go wild? Just fucking go nuts. Whatever the fuck comes to your
Uh,
head. And you know the guy's eccentric. But
yeah.
the good thing about being eccentric at the same time, you know, I kind of know something about it. Being eccentric like that, fluffing your feathers out a little bit, it gets a lot of fucking attention, don't it?
Well, the ace in the hole for Kojima, let's just say that theoretically that, if that ended up being a thing, okay, and the guys don't take it and run with it, but if that became a thing and Kojima was to start some sort of studio underneath Microsoft, the reason I think it could be beneficial for both is the fact that as eccentric as Kojima is, because of the Game Pass equation here. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because Game Pass, because they need content and because they can't really afford to be just constantly, like if Game Pass was only to have AAA multi-million dollar bangers, well, what? Game Pass would next to have no games in it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of,
you'd be talking
the day,
like 1 or 2 games a year. You talking 5 years, it'd be like less than 10 games.
People wouldn't buy it for that, right? So
no one's going to buy a service for that. Like Netflix. You're not going to fucking pay Netflix for 5 years just to get 8 movies.
Like, who made perfect content for that was made for Game Pass and they basically went out of business. But if you look at them now, it would have been the perfect model for them. Telltale Games.
Telltale Games. And actually, funny you mentioned that because Phil did say that on, I think it was CNBC in 2017 or 2018. He was in an interview on CNBC. It had nothing to do with the gaming world.
Yeah.
I mean, it was about gaming, but I mean, it was on CNBC. So it wasn't like a gaming site that interviewed him. And they were talking about that. And he says he was really interested in he was talking about the Game Pass situation, right? And he said he wanted to make it the Netflix of gaming, this and that, whatever. And he said the one thing that actually intrigued him more than anything that he thought that was very important for the service was episodic content to keep people coming back to the service in order to see what happens next. And we see that that's been proven over and over again. All I got to do is pull out Mandalorian and WandaVision, okay? I don't give a shit what people think about them. Oh, WandaVision. Doesn't matter what you think about it, but it fucking works. Doing the week-to-week shit, okay? And you see how they time it. WandaVision season finale happens in the first week of March. So you're forced to pay for all of March just to get that last episode. You see what I'm getting at? So episodic content is fucking key because that keeps people coming back and paying and paying and paying. Whether you fucking like it or not, you're fucking paying for it because you want to see how it ends. And you can bitch and you can moan and you can go on Twitter and you can go on fucking Facebook and you can cry about it. But guess what? At the end of the day, you want to see what happens. So you're going to fucking pay for it. And they know it. And deep down in your heart, you know it. And that's why, and that's something that Phil was talking about. And that's where what you were saying, okay, with those kind of games, Wolf Among Us, okay, Walking Dead, all those other games there, they would have been perfect for Game Pass. New content coming in. I think they did a little bit of with Life is Strange and stuff like that. Didn't they do that in Game Pass? Like they did release like little episodes, like one a month or kind of thing or whatever. Like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, one's much. They were experimenting with it. I don't know if it took off.
I can't say for sure. Maybe someone in the chat knows, but like I said, episodic content. Like I said, it keeps you invested. It keeps you from leaving the service. That's why, like I said, that's why Netflix brings all this content. It's why Disney wants to get in on the action. They know that's where it's at, man. You got to bring in the shows. You got to get the license. And a guy like Kojima, like I said, like when a Kojima walks in with eccentric ideas and he walks into a big studio and he's looking for a big budget, I mean, obviously he's got to convince him to give it to him, right? And that's fucking hard, not knowing how the game is going to fare, right? I mean, Death Stranding didn't light the world on fire. I think it sold, modestly well, but probably underperformed. I heard it underperformed basically on where they wanted it to be. So, but if
I
you go into Microsoft and you just basically, you have these ideas and say, well, we're willing to toss you some money, you make something, do what you wish with it, because if it goes really well, we'll just keep feeding you more money, keep making something else, right?
Now, here's the thing, though. I would think that it's actually the status quo that Kojima would work with Sony. And it's not because it's a Japanese working for Japanese. I think it's just because they kind of go hand in hand, right? Because the Metal Gear Solids were on the PlayStation, the older PlayStations and everything else, whatever, right? But can you imagine the kind of kerfuffle? Yes, I'm using the word kerfuffle. Can you imagine the kind of kerfuffle it would cause if Kojima became an exclusive developer for fucking Xbox? And you know how it is. Any news is good news. And the thing is, this would cause such a fucking shitstorm across the entire gaming world that it would be impossible to ignore whatever game he's going to release on Xbox.
Yeah.
Because you know that everybody's going to be like, holy shit, I hate that he went there, because, you know, you have those people out there who hate everything Xbox, whatever, no matter what they do. They could fucking cure COVID tomorrow, and they'd be like, yeah, well, they didn't cure it fast enough. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, right? That's how it is with Xbox. But
I totally agree. Yeah.
But imagine if Kojima was there and he was working exclusively in Xbox game studios, and then all his games or whatever he's doing, let's say an actual full game or episodic content or whatever the hell he's doing is coming to Game Pass. Can you imagine the amount of attention that Xbox would get just from that? It would be you couldn't even put a dollar amount on what that was worth. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You're 100% right.
It's the sensationalism of it.
Yeah, his name is big in the industry. Like, people know who he is. And and again, Microsoft keeps looking for ways to sort of expand and draw in the Asian market, over there as well. So Kojima is the kind of name that holds weight in all parts of the world, but perhaps more so in his home country. So, you get that underneath your banner. They toss some money at him, let him just be creative and do what he wants. As Phil said multiple times, we're not holding anybody out creatively. Let them do what they wish. They can make big games, they can make small games, whatever their heart desires. We're just gonna, we're gonna give you the wallet and the backing and the tech resources that you need to make the game, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it would be like a move that would cause such a sensationalism that it would be impossible. Like I said, it would be impossible to ignore. And I think that would draw so many people, even if it was just for curiosity's sake. You would draw so many people to the Xbox platform just to see whatever Kojima's working on or what he created. It would be worth, like I said, it'd be worth its weight in gold, man. And by the way, shout out to Cerebral Paul. What an asshole. He put COVID has no games.
And
you know what? My last comment about Xbox curing COVID. Yes.
Meg, it would be worth it just to see Jeff Keighley have the fucking get excited for Xbox for a change.
Woo! I would give up 10 paychecks just to watch him sweat in that suit of his and be like, and here
we have a world premiere from Hideo Kojima.
Premiere from Xbox Game Studios. Hideo Kojima. And he's like got a drip of sweat going down his fucking face. Just try to hold it together. Oh my God, it'd be fantastic.
He gets all world premiere from my friend Hideo Kojima, but then like a soft, somber voice, and it's on Xbox.
Oh, I would
remember how he remember like on that show too when he fucking announced Rod Ferguson to come out for Gears 5 or whatever, and it was fucking almost like dismissed him. I don't even think he can remember his name, was it, or his fucking the company or whatever.
He didn't give a fuck as long as it was something Sony. And that's why I was so happy, by the way, in December 2019 when Phil unleashed the Series X at the Game Awards, and he didn't tell fucking Keighley. You heard about that story?
Yeah.
Because like Keighley thought it was just going to be a game reveal, right? So he's like, okay, so you guys going to rehearse it? And then Phil's like, yeah, we're just going to rehearse it. So they did a fake rehearsal in front of Jeff Keighley, okay, about a game that never was coming out. So they did. So Keighley's sitting there watching Phil do this fucking rehearsal about a game that never existed. And then the fucking show goes live and Phil comes out with that big fucking dick swinging going, oh yeah, by the way, Keighley, here's the Series X, motherfucker. And then he unleashed that instead. And apparently Keighley had no fucking clue that that's what they were doing. And they had actually it was like a complete fucking sucker punch right to the mouth because they didn't want anybody to know. And apparently Keighley threw a fucking fit after the show. from what I've heard from a couple of people.
Yeah,
that he threw a fucking fit about it.
He's the one that dropped the Xbox price that the year before or something, wasn't it? Or 2 years before.
Yeah.
Remember he dropped the price?
Yep. Because he did, like right before they announced it.
On the series, on the One X.
No, it was the Xbox One X.
One X, yeah, he dropped the price or something. Yeah.
That's right. And it was like 30 minutes before they went live. And then he fucking just jumped on there and just said the price and fucked everything up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't think Phil forgot that, man. Hey, you know what? I don't care what anybody says, man. You know, Phil smiles a lot. Yeah. And he looks really nice and all that. He's a fucking gangster. Hey, don't fucking think twice. He holds the gun sideways. He'll fuck you up. You know, you piss in his backyard. He's gonna deal with you. Yeah. So I'm just telling you right now. But anyways, that was a great fucking story. I love that story.
He's got a big job, a lot of responsibility, and he's got to answer to he's got to answer to fucking what's his name there, Satya Nadella, right? So yeah, exactly. And it's all roses when the numbers are climbing, but when they're sinking into the fucking tank, you don't want to have the guy to walk in and go, well, we're going to need to do this, do that. We're going to need some more money because, like a bailout needs to happen kind of deal. So you know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, Sleepy Goblin, he said that's really funny in the chat. He goes, Jeff looked ready to chew rocks. Yeah, he did, man. He was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I heard it from a couple of guys who were at the show, and they said that he fucking threw a tantrum afterwards. He was fucking pissed. So, but anyway, that's a great story.
Yeah, epic moment. Yeah, well, I won't want to keep you too long, Meg. I appreciate
No, I got to get going, actually.
Yeah, I got to let you get out of here. Yeah, I know it's late in your neck of the woods, but like I said, guys, I came on here. Like I said, this was a total impromptu surprise stream podcast. I greatly appreciate everybody being here. Fuck, you guys are amazing. It presses me. This is the kind of shit too that makes you reconsider and want to keep going. When you look down the chat and you see all these amazing people that come in here to be part of it. Some new faces as well. Kid Kakarato, two of my favorite people in the Xbox community. I'm assuming he's referring to us, Meg.
I hope so.
Well, thank you, man. You guys are our favorites. We love you guys. It's amazing. So just like I said, want to let everybody know all is well in the world. See? And like I said, when I said I was stepping away for a while, I'm sure there was lots of speculation there too. Why is Noof leaving? Is something going on? Is he getting a divorce? What the fuck's going on? Is he have a problem with Meg and Titan? What's the deal? But no. All sorted. Things are good, guys. I'm ready to come back, fired on all cylinders. We will be back in fine form again next Tuesday, and so yeah, just get ready for another podcast. Hopefully we'll have some dynamite topics, and Titan will be here. He was welcome to stop in today. He was in the chat, but he couldn't stay. But anyway, we will come back again next Tuesday. So I'm going to let everybody get out of here. Certainly I want to thank Mag for jumping in. He didn't have to, but like I said, I saw him in the chat, and of course,
it's a good time, man. I had a great time with you, man.
It flew. It went by so fast. It's over 2 hours already.
Oh, already it's 12:30 over in this neck of the woods. So yeah, it's
crazy stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Just let people know where they can check you out, my friend. Good stuff, Mr. Keem. What's happening? And again, we'll see you next week. So let everybody know, Meg.
Well, guys, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, of course, at the Middle Age Game Guy. That's with a GY at the end. If you want, you can hit me up on this Series X or the PS5 at all one words, all capitals. I am the Mag, and you can follow me there. And of course, you can find me next Tuesday here at Gaming After Dark, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Monday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Mr. Boomstick XL on Primetime Gaming. Guys, it was a pleasure as always, and yeah, wow. It just feels like we just did another show, but next week we'll be back with that fraud Titan and of course Noof. And guys, also don't sleep on that Halo tournament, man. It's coming up. It's March 6th, and actually, funny enough, our first foes that we're fighting is Mr. Boomstick's team themselves. So it's going to be a good time. So make sure you tune in there. But anyways, Noof, it was a pleasure as always, brother. I just saw you in there, and I was just like, holy fuck. I almost felt like the bat signal was thrown up, even though you didn't invite me. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm coming, whether he likes it or not. And yeah, here we are. So, guys, it was a great night. We'll see you all next week.
Indeed. Pong Soul, thanks for the love, brother. The doctor, what's going on? And my good buddy, another Canadian buddy right there. We got Squirrely Dan in the chat. What's going on, Squirrely? Glad you could be here, brother. Hanging out in the bushes, he says. Indeed. And Erdl making his little surprise appearance there as well. Yes, guys, we'll see you again next Tuesday, same time, same place here at Gaming After Dark. Our panel will be back. I'm sure we'll have some amazing guests for you as well, hopefully. I got some big names hopefully lined up if the time schedule works out. Yes, as Meg said, don't forget about the Halo tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you wanted to get involved and there's still some spaces left, I think people had to be registered, but I'm not 100% sure. Make sure you're following Mr. Tushy or Fork Boy on Twitter. Send him a message. All that good shit, guys. Dunny Rat, thanks for the love. Appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be back. I missed you guys. I know I wasn't gone very long, but still long enough. And yeah, looking forward to getting back at it. And Meg, by the way, after Thursday, because I think there's a Sony State of Play coming up on Thursday. So if there's any juicy news in there and you're free at all, even for 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, I wouldn't mind possibly doing a little thing on that if we can't hold out till Tuesday. Really depends on what's happening. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'll send you a message. Cool. Try to jump on, and if you're available. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you again next week. Joe Dunmore. See you next week, Joe. All right, guys, take care. Have a great night. You know where to find me. Always in the gutter. Noof Nukem, boom boom kaboom. Leaving the room. Catch you guys next week. See you on Twitter. All that stuff. Much love. Everything's cool, guys. Thanks for all the messages. Me and Mag will see you then. Take care. Have a great night.